that does not necessarily mean that she is completely qualified to teach you how to do the same.
And took it upon herself to put it into her course and to let people know that it's in her course as a way to make her course more valuable and to make more money.
Don't do that.
And rebranding courses as his own. He proudly boasts about making courses that other people have made into his own, putting his own name on it and selling it for profit.
Oh, the tea's getting hotter now. Hey everyone, welcome back into the channel. So there is another controversy that I stumbled upon while perusing TikTok, and I wanted to talk about it today. It has to do with selling courses and vetting these people that are selling courses that are teaching people how to run their own small business. Now, while a lot of this information is alleged, it is quite scandalous in the sense that it is shedding light on an entrepreneur selling information at the same time that they are actually learning it themselves. Today we are talking about the scandal of Micro Bakery Girl and the course that has caused a whirlwind of drama over in sourdough TikTok. So now before we dive into why exactly this small business course is so controversial, let's first meet Micro Bakery Girl.
You know the feminine urge to open a bakery that's also a bookshop and sells flowers? Well, this is my version of that. Welcome to my micro bakery, a small-scale, home-based bakery that I run right from my home kitchen that I've called the Little Loaf. I may not have a shop on Main Street with big bay windows, but every morning I step into my micro bakery, I feel like I'm living in a romance book. It's just me, the smell of fresh bread in my oven, and that quiet sense of magic that comes from making something with my own hands. I have a small stand outside where I display my baked goods for customers to pick up, along with a little library filled with free books and a basket full of flowers. I didn't need to invest in a big commercial kitchen or rent a space. I simply used the tools that I already had, keeping my costs low and focusing on the fun stuff, creating delicious treats. And it's actually working. My neighbors and friends regularly stop by when I open each weekend, ready to pick up their favorites. This little setup has become more than I ever expected. It's a way to bring joy to my community, share something that I love, and make a little extra money on the side too. So if you've ever felt the urge to start something of your own, just know that you don't need a storefront or a huge budget. Sometimes the dream that you've been waiting for can begin right where you are now, with what you already have.
Okay, so first reaction, that's cute as hell. It's so stinking cute. It's aesthetically pleasing. I think it's absolutely adorable. I now want to have my own micro bakery, just from watching that one video of hers, because I love baking. And in this last year, I actually took on learning how to bake sourdough myself. I, picked it up from my mother. She has been like semi-retired, so she delved really, really deep into learning how to make sourdough. And of course, anything that my mother does, I have to try myself because I love sourdough. So I started learning how to bake sourdough. And I gotta tell you guys, just fresh baked sourdough is so much better than anything store-bought. I just want to say that. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to bake sourdough, highly recommend doing it. But this is also an appealing thing to me because I am also an entrepreneur. I have multiple small businesses that I run out of my house. So hearing somebody tell me that it is one, easy, and two, you can start a business doing something you enjoy, like baking cookies or bread, it's extremely appealing to me. And so I can definitely see where she just had a following that just started taking off based on, only 20 TikTok videos on her TikTok page. Now that we know who she is and what she's about, let's talk about the controversy. So Micro Bakery Girl has created this cute little booth that is parked outside of her house where customers can come purchase breads, leave cash in the tip jar. It gives it a very adorable feel. Well, she has decided that she is going to teach people how to do her business model. Well, where's the problem with this, right? It's cute, it's aesthetically pleasing, there's a need for it. What is wrong with selling a course about how to create this kind of small business? Well, the problem arises now because allegedly she does not have the experience that she's supposedly teaching in this course. Now, while I say this, she has not come out and lied. I just want to say this. In my opinion, nowhere has she publicly led us to believe that she has more experience than she she has. For instance, on her Instagram, there was actually someone who commented a question and she willingly replied publicly. This Instagram user asked, "How many years of experience do you have in baking sourdough and in having a micro bakery?" And Micro Bakery Girl willingly publicly replied to this with her honest response by saying, "Hi, I started baking sourdough for friends last fall and began taking it more seriously this summer when I moved in with my in-laws in September. And we turned one of our spare rooms into a baking room, built the bread stand out front, and I created the Little Loaf brand." So publicly, she's stating that she started baking bread last fall. Well, it is currently February. So if my math is correct, that is only 5 months experience that she would have in baking bread, and only 4 months of experience when she actually launched this course talking about creating your own micro bakery. So now I want to move on to talking about what exactly happened on Bread Talk when she launched this course. So that is where TikTok user Sourdough by Sid comes into the story. On January 13th, Micro Bakery Girl launched her course. It cost somewhere between $247 and $497, I think, just depending on whatever sales she might have running at the time. The course itself comes with 47 video lessons. The first module talking about things like any licensing that you might need. Module 2 being about branding and your identity. Module 3 includes recipes and production tips. Module 4 includes things like pricing and financials. Module 5, sales and marketing. And then Module 6 is all about your grand opening and your launch. And then the week that she launched, she also included a 50% off bonus pack that included things like part-time and full-time baking schedules, done-for-you brand kits, ready-made menus, and she was even including 25 micro brand name ideas. That bonus package also had things like sales trackers and branding templates, a pricing calculator, and introduction to the micro baking community. So this little micro bakery girl, she was selling a lot of information in her course. And then all of that seemed well and good until TikToker Sourdough by Sid started sleuthing around and doing a little bit of investigating of this micro bakery girl to see what kind of credentials she had to sell a course in the space where so many micro bakers had put in the time and the skills and the knowledge in the community that weren't selling courses. They were simply giving out information for free. And then all hell broke loose on Bread Talk as soon as Sourdough by Sid posted this video. It is now deleted. And again, everything that she says is alleged. There is actually no definitive proof other than some screenshots and comments and general information that will show up here on the screen.
I'm worried that some of y'all are about to get scammed, and I want you to please watch this video before you do. There's a creator, she is really big on Instagram right now. Her name is Micro Bakery Girl. Her real name is Jessica Stewart, and she is launching a sourdough micro bakery school on January 13th. Though there are some inconsistencies with when she started her micro bakery, she tends to tell people that she started somewhere between September and November of this year. And yes, she is already launching a school as an expert on the topic in January.
So already you can tell there's a little bit of condescension with the fact that she's only been baking bread sometime between September and November of last year, and then a mere couple months after that, she's now launching a school or a course, and then she continues.
Claims that her micro bakery makes her a full-time income, and it is under the name Little Loaf, again. But if you search Little Loaf, and there is no such business that exists. There's actually not one anywhere that you can find on Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere, though she does have a micro bakery account where she is selling her micro bakery school course. She does not actually have any type of account for her actual micro bakery. I have no idea how she is garnering any type of customers, much less enough for a full-time income, if she has literally zero social media presence for her micro bakery business.
Okay, so what's the problem with this, right? So the first red flag that was brought up was Micro Bakery Girl is claiming in one of her modules that she's going to tell you about marketing and permits and the legalities of the things that you need to do to start a business. And nobody can find any sort of social media presence for her business, Little Loaf. And if you look at her TikTok, you can't really see any real promotion of her bread business. It's really just a promotion of baking in general and selling her course. So you can't really say that she's using her micro bakery girl TikTok to actually market selling her bread, because you can tell by watching the TikToks that's not exactly what she's doing with it. But nobody can seem to find anywhere online where she is publicly advertising and marketing her breads and cookies. So that was the first red flag.
There's actually one place that I found that her business exists, and that is on Hotplate. Hotplate is a very common website that micro bakery owners use to sell their bread. And her business does have a Hotplate account that has her name, her picture, and her business name, Little Loaf. The Hotplate account is kind of weird though, because not only is the address on the Hotplate account that same apartment and not the house that she's been posting, it also only has one bread drop. Only once ever has she sold bread. There are 2 test runs and then 1 real bread drop where you can tell that she sold bread one time.
Okay, so apparently the only place that she was found on social media of any kind advertising her Little Loaf brand, she sold one thing. I had never heard of this site before because I don't sell bread or any sort of baked goods for that matter. But the fact that there's only history online that was discoverable, that she sold one thing, it's another red flag. I know that you're probably also hearing some cuts in the audio. That is simply because they are trying to block out the state in which she lives just to try to keep a little bit of anonymity, which I don't think that she has any anonymity. Her name is out there and she puts herself on the internet. I don't know, but that's why it's kind of, doing that cutting out situation.
So this home that she is very much saying is her home is actually her mother and father-in-law's home, which is fine. I've actually had to live with my in-laws before, so there's no shade there. I probably wouldn't have posted pictures and videos claiming it was my home, but to each their own.
Yeah, that's the other kind of red flag, that she was claiming that her in-laws' house was actually her house for a while. I think she has since moved on to publicly talking about it being her in-laws' property and not her own personal home. But still, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, if you're gonna lie about something small like that, you're probably likely to lie about bigger things, so that was brought up.
Operating under cottage food laws, and she even has a whole entire post dedicated to cottage food laws, how to find your state cottage food laws, and talking about how that is how she legally operates in the state of Illinois. According to the cottage food laws, you have to be registered by the health department in order to operate legally as a cottage food business. However, whenever other people reached out to her county's health department, they said that there was no business under the name Little Loaf, nor any business registered under a Jessica Stewart that existed in their county and was registered under the health department. When this problem was brought to her attention, she said she actually wasn't operating under cottage food law, despite the fact that that is what all of her posts say. She said she was actually operating under a cupcake bill.
Okay. Cottage food laws. I am actually very familiar with cottage food laws because, again, I've done farmers markets, I've done events, I sell nuts and candy, all those kinds of things. So there are a lot of different kinds of foods that are protected under cottage food laws, baked goods being the primary. The thing that I find kind of crazy about cottage food law is that I can essentially bake anything I want and sell it out of the trunk of my car, and it's legal. Like, isn't that just a little weird? It's just a little weird. I could be some crazy lady selling cinnamon rolls out of the trunk of my car and nobody's gonna come after me for it. Which I guess in hindsight, it could be good or bad, because it's good for me as someone who's wanting to start my own micro bakery. There's not a lot of rules that I am restricted by. It actually gives a lot of the responsibility to the buyers. There's a little bit of personal responsibility there that basically says, hey, you as a customer, if you don't trust the person baking those cinnamon rolls, selling them out of the trunk of their car, then don't buy them. Like, it's that simple. Don't buy them. But the fact of the matter is the health department is not going to come sniffing around. And I just find that a little bit weird. I find that a little bit weird. However, you do have to register with your state health department. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to come in and fine you and shut you down because you don't have a commercial kitchen, but you do have to be be registered. And that's where another red flag comes into play with Micro Bakery Girl, because nobody can find any record that she was actually registered with her state health department, whether it was under her business name or under her personal name. And the reason why this was a problem is because she is teaching in her course, allegedly, teaching in her course how to do all of that when she hasn't in fact done it. See the problem here? And then after she gets busted with that, she says, no, I'm not operating under food cottage law. I'm operating under the cupcake bill. And if you're unfamiliar with that, the cupcake bill basically says that you can make up to $1,000 a month and you don't have to actually register your business. But let's find out exactly why that's an issue now.
The cupcake bill, in order for any food establishment that is operating out of a home that is making $1,000 in gross sales or less to be able to operate without being registered or licensed by the health department. So Jessica says she's not actually operating under cottage food law, she's operating under this cupcake bill. The problem here with her operating under the cupcake bill is that the cupcake bill, again, says you can't make more than $1,000 a month. But Jessica is saying that she is making a full-time income off of her business. Making $1,000 in sales means you're actually probably profiting somewhere around $700 to be generous in the sourdough world, which would mean that she's making around $8,200 annually. Again, if she's operating legally under the cupcake bill. And that is $8,000 a year is not a full-time income.
So that's the problem with that, because she is talking about teaching how to create a full-time micro bakery business and giving guidance on a full-time micro bakery business, yet claiming that she's operating under the cupcake bill, which means that she's not allowed to exceed $1,000 in revenue every single month, which is clearly not a full-time income, and nobody can live off of that in this day and age. So allegedly, she's either lying about operating under the cupcake bill and she's actually making more money than she's supposed to be under the bill, and she's just, she's pretending she's only making $1,000 or less, or she's actually operating under the food cottage laws and not registering her business like she's supposed to with her state health department. There's a problem either way, you get what I'm saying?
Just like all the other sourdough creators that she's kind of cosplaying as, she says...
She just said that she's cosplaying as a sourdough baker.
Just like all the other sourdough creators that she's kind of cosplaying as, she says that she started her sourdough micro bakery as a means to make a little bit more money because money was tight.
Something was missing. And to be completely honest, money had been a little tight for me too.
And this is where her husband comes in. Her husband's name is Landon Stewart, and I'm going to show you his Instagram bio. Her husband, Landon, is the co-founder of a company called Clients and Community, which claims to have made over $10 million in the last 2 years. The company has been featured in Forbes, Medium, and Inc., to name a few. They claim to have made $10 million in the last 2 years and to hope to double or triple their amount of clients in the next several years. It's odd because she told people that money was tight and also that they moved in with her in-laws because her husband lost his job. From what I can tell, Clients and Communities is still very much a thriving business to this day. Their website is still very active. Their Instagram is still very active. Their Facebook groups, which have like 44,000 members, are still having new members added and new posts being made to this day. They just went on a trip in September, and her husband is the co-founder. And the whole way that the husband boasts about making his money is by creating sales funnels and rebranding courses as his own. He proudly boasts about making courses that other people have made into his own, putting his own name on it and selling it for profit.
Oh, the tea's getting hotter now. Yeah, so this is something else that people had a problem with. She was kind of like, allegedly, tugging on the heartstrings of people, saying that she created this micro bakery as a means to make extra money after her husband lost his job and they had to move in with their in-laws, and they turned a spare room into a little bakery so that she could make a little bit of money from home. All the while her husband is running a business making millions of dollars. And what kind of business is he in? The act of selling courses and affiliate marketing. Red flag, red flag, red flag. Yeah, it just keeps getting worse.
So she bought the building plans for her bread stand that she posts a lot of pictures of, and in earlier comments, she tags the people who she bought the plans from on Etsy, the building plans. As the last few weeks passed and she realized how many people were interested in the bread plans, she then stopped mentioning the person who made the plans and instead started mentioning that she was going to include the building plans in her course that people are paying money for. I've confirmed personally that the Hillside Market does not give master resale rights to their building plans. She just simply bought their building plans and took it upon herself to put it into her course and to let people know that it's in her course as a way to make her course more valuable and to make more money.
Ah, don't do that. Don't do that. That's like, oh, that's so icky. That's so icky. So her little booth thing, you know, people loved it so much. People wanted to know how they could make one for themselves. And so she started essentially selling the plans for building the bread nook within the course. But those aren't her plans. She bought those plans from somebody. Those aren't her plans to sell. That's nasty. That's icky. Don't do that. Don't do that. So of course, all of this blew up on TikTok, and what ended up happening was Sourdough by Sid ended up pulling down a lot of this information. There is speculation out there that she might have gotten a cease and desist, and so that's why she removed it, because honestly, the Sourdough by Sid chick doesn't seem like the kind of person to be easily pushed around. I don't see her having done all of this digging and figuring out all of this information to just simply pull the TikTok down for something that wasn't seemingly serious. But there was a little bit of backpedaling that ended up coming from the side of Micro Bakery Girl. She posted a lot of text explanations for everything that was going on, kind of trying to backpedal, I guess, a little bit on this course. But this is what she said in response to all of the backlash that she got on TikTok for selling a course about opening a micro bakery. While some of these creators' claims about me are accurate, so she's saying right there, some of the claims, she doesn't say exactly how many, but some of the claims are accurate. They've also made allegations that are entirely false, and I want to address those now. It also has been alleged that my course will include master resale rights, meaning others could resell it as their own. This is also false. While I have experimented with master resale rights programs in the past, this course will not include resale rights or an affiliate program, nor is it a course on how to sell courses. My only goal with this course is to help people start micro bakeries. Lastly, I am proud to say that my course comes with an unconditional 30-day money-back guarantee. So if anyone is unhappy with the course for any reason, I'll provide a full refund, no questions asked. I want to talk about the master resale rights thing just real quick. As someone who is anti-MLM, multi-level marketing, I hate all things MLM. I want to just point out where that alleged comment came from. So Sourdough by Sid actually shared this, but she put the little comment thing over it, so you can't really read it, but you could see that her course is $497, yada, yada, yada. And then it says, and this is Micro Bakery Girl's Instagram reel. That's what we're looking at right now. It says, when you buy the course yourself, you can use the lessons inside of it to create a simple Instagram account of your own, publish cute, easy reels each day, and as soon as you get your first sale, you get a direct deposit of $497 into your bank account. Oh, but there's more. Then it says, no boss, no pyramid schemes, and perfect for beginners. Hint, it's digital marketing and master resale rights. Here's how it works. So, gee, I wonder where the allegations of promoting master resale rights and having your students resell the course and to make money off of it. Gee, I wonder where that idea came from. I have a very strong feeling that a lot of the information that came out was accurate. Now, we don't know which items are accurate, but the receipts that we have says a lot of it was accurate. Did she not remember that she posted this on her Instagram? Did she not remember This just reeks of multi-level marketing. And if you don't know exactly what master resale rights is regarding selling courses, it's kind of like the new multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. It's where you buy one course and then it teaches you how to sell that course to other people. And then every time you sell that course, those people can then sell that course and then you make money and then the original person makes money. It's another multi-level marketing ploy to get people to sign up and buy the course and then sell the course and then buy the course and then sell the course. And then you got people under you and then the people above you are making money off of you and the people under you. It's the new multi-level marketing and it's called master resale rights. Please don't ever fall for it because it's just no thank you. It looks like she is still willingly selling her course. Her website is still up. And I mean, honestly and truly, live and let live, right? Like live and let live. Everybody reserves the right to create a course and sell it however they want to, but it is up to us as potential customers and potential students of these courses to understand that all that glitters is not gold. Just because it looks like this woman is aesthetically pleasing and she's got all this cute stuff and she looks like she's baking bread and cookies and doing all of these lovely things, that does not necessarily mean that she is completely qualified to teach you how to do the same. I'm sorry, but if I am going to learn how to create a micro bakery business, I want to do it from someone who has at least 5 years experience doing it. They know the ins and outs of all of the licensing that's supposed to take place. They've done multiple events, they've done farmers markets, they've done, knocking on door to door, selling their breads and their cookies. They might even be scaling to the point where they have their products in other, little small town business shops in the area. So if you are ever considering buying a course, whether it is about baked goods, reselling, Amazon, affiliate marketing, any kind of course that is going to teach you information on how to do something where you're starting a business and making money, please do your due diligence. Please do your research, look for reviews, and obviously scroll TikTok, because had I not been on TikTok, I wouldn't have even known that this was a thing. I knew that micro bakeries were a thing, but I did not know that there was amateur bakers creating courses and selling it for hundreds of dollars. Had no idea that was happening. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like this one, the fastest way to let me know is to hit that thumbs up button. That way I can continue to make this kind of content. It also helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, so I really appreciate every time you tap the thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do, and make sure to ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Leave me any questions or comments down in the comments below. Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information in there, including any links, sources, websites, my own personal businesses. They're all linked down in the video description. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.